Like, look at right now why Nick Fuentes is doing so well. Anybody he's had beef with, he'll squash it. And that's why Nick's going to continue to take over mainstream politics. And like I said, at Fuentes rally 2 in 23, I said he's going to be the president one day.
Do you think Nick Fuentes would ever run for office?
I hope he does. Yeah, no,
It's funny.
I hope he does, bro. I'll be the attorney general.
Yo, so we back in here for another edition of F-ya-Motha, and those two videos you guys just got done seeing was Myron Gaines and Sneako, Glazing Nick Fuentes, talking about how they hope that he becomes, or he runs for president. And next sitting to him was Watt Weston, or West some shit. I think his name is Wes Watson. I don't know how to fuck that up, but he was seen there asking Myron that bullshit question, to which, let me help both of them brain dead idiots out. Now, this is why Myron Gaines is frowned down upon. He talks about that King Von is admired in the black community, while Nick Fuentes isn't the equivalent of a King Von. He is a despicable figure in America. So the fact that he says that he hopes that he runs for president shows the level of despicableness, to which also is another reason, and I'm prefacing this because I'm gonna do a video right behind this one, as with him and Tommy Sotomayor talking about how they're frowned down upon in the black community, but King Von is actually applauded. This right here is a good example, saying that Nick Fuentes, a racist Christian white nationalist, former GOP right-wing leaning, now I don't know what he is, right? Graper. He's a weirdo. Yeah, now you're applauding for this dude that says despicable things about minorities and people of color, even though he's half Mexican. Make that shit make sense. A white Mexican at that, but a Mexican no less. So yeah, this is like a circle jerk, if you ask me. Like, everybody sitting at this table is co-signing this fuckery, and they know he not gonna win. People have to vote for this dummy. He's not gonna win. Like, will he run for president? It's possible. Will he be elected? No. You know what I'm saying? Honestly speaking, if I had to say myself, your boy Charlie Kirk had a better chance of running and winning the presidency. This guy, he got no shot. You know what I'm saying? I forgot what movie that was off of, but the man said, yo, he got no shot. He got no shot. Nobody, this is how you know he got no shot. People that are GOP right-wing leaning don't like him. People that are white nationalists don't like him. People that are Christian nationalists don't like him. Black people don't like him. Minorities don't like him. The only people that like him is people like him. So yeah, to answer Myron's question as to why him and Tommy Sotomayor are ostracized, that's why. You know what, I was actually gonna do that as a second video. I'm just gonna play it and splice it with this one. Here's the commentary. I'm gonna come back.
The problem with blacks is, like, they don't really go off of individuality. It's a cult type personality. Yep. I'll give you an example. King Von gets more respect than me and you. Think about that. Someone who is a fucking serial killer, by the way, that's murdered a bunch of people.
And channel still monetized after his death. Still monetized. They still sell him and what's his name's music on YouTube. Still ads in front of every one of them.
You were banned.
So to that point, let me just explain. The masses of black people don't support King Von. People between the ages of 18 and 27 support King Von. That's a fraction of black society. Second of all, it wasn't found out that he was a serial killer until after he died. While he was alive, that wasn't public record or public knowledge. Now, he had been arrested for suspicion of murder, but he never was convicted on a murder. So all that is alleged. People alleged that he was a serial killer. On the record, he never had a conviction for murder, homicide, or anything. So they sound stupid. Why the fuck will we not applaud him if all we know is the music? We don't know him personally. We don't know he was charged with murder. The average person before he died didn't know that. I didn't know that until after he got killed. Also, the music, it's artistry. While he wasn't convicted, we don't know if he's actually rapping factual facts. So with that being said, that's why the music is monetized on YouTube, because it's artistry. Because there isn't confirmation, I'm assuming, that he killed anybody. That's why they haven't taken it down. Because nobody that allegedly was a victim has come forward and say, yo, he killed my family member. We would like if you not play that record. That's why. So they sound crazy. And we're going to continue though.
You were banned for like a decade. We're demonetized, right? But this is someone who literally is a murderer, talks about being a murderer, killed a woman, by the way, a girl.
Yep.
Once again, that was alleged. He wasn't convicted for that. He was charged, and I don't even think he was charged. I think he was interrogated and questioned. That was it. The reason that they're actually demonetized is because they're inflammatory. Tommy Sotomayor's moniker is literally the king of controversy. Now, why both of them at certain times have valid points, this not being one of them. The reason that they catch so much flack is because they're flagrant. They're what's the word for it? They're flagrant, they're insensitive, they're offensive, they're abrasive, they're controversial. Like, and Myron uses a bunch of slurs. He calls small hats the K word. He calls black people the N word with the hard R, which is not the same as NAGGIA or NIGGA. So yeah, you can't be going around hurling racial slurs and think people are supposed to like side with you. Doesn't matter if you're don't matter if you're critiquing or criticizing the despicable segment of a society. When Myron is known to say black people, like just use a generality. Tommy Sotomayor, to his credit, I used to listen to him when he was on YouTube. He will at least concede that some black people, he will interject the word some or a large portion. He will make specifics when he talk. Even with black women, he criticized black women. When he used to get passionate and intense about his message, he might have said black bees in a general sense, but anybody that listened to him long enough and followed him knows he was talking about a specific segment of black women. He wasn't talking about all black women. So yeah, he at least tried to make a distinction. YouTube didn't understand. But with Myron Gaines, he doesn't say some black people, he says black people, which is weird because while he has black skin, he's an Arab. He's not even a African. So black people find that offensive because, bro, other than having melanated skin, you're not a black person. I mean, if you want to be technical, let's continue though.
Right? Teenage girl,
K.I.
killed her, celebrated all over the place. You know what I mean? But we're like the evil ones.
Yep.
And this is why no one respects niggas, bro, because everything that they do is backwards.
So then he goes on to say this is why nobody respects niggas. See, that statement right in itself was inflammatory. It was offensive. One, you can't even dignify and call black people black people. You have to say this is why people don't respect niggas. Now, why that's not the hard R, that's what he means. But also, aside from that, that shouldn't be a reason why people don't respect black people. If you don't respect those degenerate segment of black people, we get that. Not respecting black people because of some idiot over here, well, that's stupid. And two, well, that's racist, or at the very least, like bigotry. Shouldn't be a bigot. What King Von did has no bearing effect, even if somebody applauded his music or whatever. Right? It's just music. I'm not, just because I like his music doesn't mean I co-sign what the fuck he did in real life. I like the music. The beat is catchy. The words he put together is catchy. Does that mean that I support killing? Not really. I like Took Him to the O. If you listen to that song in its context, he talks about blicking somebody down that tries to harm him. The man threw a brick at his car. Now, one could say if he really did that, that was an overreaction to blick him down. However, the man was threatening. He already beat the woman up. So, listening to that song in that context sounds like self-defense to me. I'm just going to put that one out there. We're going to keep that 100. But let's continue.
if you say anything that's like, hey, these are the real problems, we need to focus on this. Nah, you are cool and get the fuck out of here. We want to keep talking about all this other bullshit that we talk about here. This is why, and honestly, this is why black media is a joke. This is why people like Joe Budden, nobody listen to that bitch ass nigga no more.
Hey,
back to what he was saying. Black people with intelligence don't say shit like that. The only people that say that, well, one, nobody wants to hear you say it, whether it's the truth or not. You've been offensive for too long. Who the fuck want to listen to somebody calling them a nigga or low IQ or stupid? Like, it's like if you have a kid and you call the kid stupid and dumb and da-da-da-da-da, you think that kid wants you to help him with his fucking homework? I mean, this guy literally, I don't know if this is like because he from the Sudan, the people in the Sudanese people don't use common sense, logic, and critical thinking. But if you downgrade or degrade people when you speak about them or speak to them, they're not going to be apropos to listen to you. They're going to dismiss you. That's like me calling a prostitute a whore and then expect for her to listen to my message. Whether that's the truth about her, when you rub people the wrong way, they're not trying to hear the rest of your message. You should probably give your message a little bit more palatable, and not saying that you got to say things that they like, but calling a motherfucker a derogatory slur, like, it's not going to get them to listen to you. Like, that's just common sense. I would have thought that was obvious, but common sense ain't common. And I don't know, man, with this dude, it's like Myron has to be about 37, 38, about the same age as one of my younger brothers, and he has the mentality, critical thinking skills of a 14-year-old. Well, let's continue though.
Like him and who's the other Nick that does this show with him? The one that chimped out on Piers Morgan with me.
Mark Lamont Hill. Now, to the fact that he said nobody listens to Joe Budden. Yeah, nobody listens to you, bro. They listen to the playback of your videos on YouTube, maybe, if they're still up. I don't even think you got a big following on Twitter or doing your Twitter lives or rants or raves or Twitter spaces than Joe Budden has people watch his actual videos. So that's right there. My man's just a hater. And he was talking about Mark Lamont Hill. Now, I don't like Mark Lamont Hill, and I think he's a Sambo Democratic shield, because he always tries to get us to vote for the Democrats, even though they pander like a motherfucker and ain't offering shit. But at the very least, now, you know, there's no good I can say about Mark Lamont Hill. This is the same man that thinks that trans women are actual women. So he might have a point with that dude. With Joe Budden, nah, that's just hate, bro. I think more people watch his podcast than they listen to yours. And once again, he doesn't go out of his way to call people as offensive as Joe Budden has been to, like, the Migos or DJ Academics. He'll listen, at least starts off somewhat, like, respectful. You never do, bro. I've literally, like, rolled down my timeline feed on Twitter, which why you on it is beyond me, but yeah, and you say the most inflammatory shit, bro. Nobody wants to hear from you. You know what I'm saying? At all. You're a former law enforcement agent, that minority that thinks that you're other, black skin that thinks you're other than, like you act like you're a white man in blackface, bro. Nobody wants to hear you. So I hope that answers his question. It probably won't. Nobody gives a fuck. And as we exit, here's a picture of Nick Fuentes. Somebody posted while they were all glazing him, talking about him running for president, and somebody put in the captions, by the way, this is the dude that was watching gay porn on his live stream and then tried to, like, excuse it away or make, you know what, fuck, let me not misquote the shit, because I thought I had it. God damn it. It says, all you need to know about Nick Fuentes is that he accidentally streamed himself watching gay porn and tried to blame it on the IDF. So that's the dude that might be running for president. In any event, if y'all like this episode, you know what to do, and I'm out.